I never thought my own family would betray me like this. I never thought I would see my brand new car vanish from my driveway in the middle of the night, and I never thought the people I trusted most would be the ones to stab me in the back the night it happened. I was lying in bed, scrolling through my phone, when I heard the engine start outside. I jumped up, heart pounding, and ran to the window, and what I saw made my blood run cold. My parents were driving away in my car, and my little sister was in the passenger seat, laughing like she had just won the lottery. I could not believe what I was seeing. My car was my pride and joy. I had worked 2 jobs for over a year to save up for it. I skipped parties, I skipped vacations, I skipped everything just to make the payments, and finally the car was mine. It was the first thing I ever truly owned, and now it was gone just like that. I ran outside in my pajamas, barefoot on the cold concrete, but the car was already gone. The driveway was empty, and the silence was deafening. I stood there shaking in the dark, trying to make sense of what just happened. My phone buzzed, and I saw a text from my sister. It was a selfie of her in my car with the caption, "Thanks for the upgrade, loser." I felt my stomach drop. I could not breathe. I could not think. I just stood there frozen as the reality hit me. My own family had stolen from me, and they did not even try to hide it. The next morning, I confronted my parents. I demanded to know why. They took my car. My mom just shrugged and said, "Your sister needs it more than you do. She has a new job, and you can take the bus." My dad would not even look at me. He just sipped his coffee and scrolled through his phone like nothing happened. My sister walked in, wearing my favorite jacket, and tossed my car keys on the table with a smirk. I felt like I was living in a nightmare. Tried to reason with them. I begged. I pleaded. I told them how hard I worked for that car, but they did not care. My mom said I was being selfish. My dad said I was overreacting. My sister just laughed and said, "Maybe if you were not such a loser, they would love you more." I felt something inside me snap. I realized in that moment that my family never cared about me. They only cared about what I could give them. I went to my room and locked the door. I sat on my bed, staring at the wall, trying to figure out what to do. I thought about calling the police, but they were my family. I thought about just letting it go, but the anger inside me was too strong. I could not let them get away with this. I could not let them treat me like I was nothing. That night, I heard my parents talking in the kitchen. They were laughing about how easy it was to take my car. My mom said I would get over it. My dad said I would thank them one day. My sister said she was going to take it for a road trip with her friends. I felt sick. I knew I had to do something. I could not let them weenie. Started looking for my car. I checked my sister's social media and saw she was posting stories from different places around town. She was showing off my car like it was hers. She even changed the license plate frame to say Princess. I felt rage boiling inside me. I knew I had to get my car back no matter what. I called my best friend and told him what happened. He could not believe it. He said I should call the police right away. I hesitated, but then I remembered how my parents looked at me. Like I was nothing. I decided I was done. Being the victim, I was going to fight back. I called 911 and told them my car had been stolen. They asked if I knew who took it. I told them yes, my parents and my sister. The operator was silent for a moment, then asked if I wanted to press charges. I said yes, I want them to pay for what they did. The police showed up at my house later that day. My parents were shocked. My mom started crying, and my dad started yelling at me. My sister tried to play innocent, but the police were not buying it. They asked for the keys, and my sister handed them over with a scowl. The police told my parents they could be charged with grand theft auto. My mom begged me to drop the charges, but I refused. My parents tried to guilt trip me. They said I was tearing the family apart. They said I was being dramatic. They said I would regret this for the rest of my life. But I did not care. I was done letting them walk all over me. I was done being the scapegoat. Police took statements from everyone. They asked me if I wanted to press full charges. I said yes, I want them to know they cannot treat me like this anymore. My parents were taken to the station for questioning. My sister was furious. She screamed at me and said, I ruined her life. I just smiled and said, welcome to mine. The next few days were a blur. My parents tried to call me, but I blocked their numbers. My sister tried to get her friends to harass me online, but I ignored them. I focused on getting my car back and moving on with my life. I started looking for a new place to live. I knew I could not stay in that house any longer. Then something unexpected happened. I got a call from a lawyer. He said my parents were trying to sue me for emotional distress. I could not believe it. They stole my car, and now they were trying to make me the villain. I felt like I was in some twisted movie. I met with the lawyer and told him everything. I showed him the text, the social media posts, the police report. He said I had a strong case. He said, my parents did not have a leg to stand on. I felt a surge of hope for the first time in weeks. The court date arrived, and my parents showed up with their lawyer. My mom looked like she had been crying for days. My dad looked angry. My sister looked bored. The judge listened to both sides and then asked me to speak. I told the judge everything. I told him how hard I worked for my car, how my parents stole it, how they tried to make me feel worthless. The judge looked at my parents and said, what you did was wrong. You cannot just take something that does not belong to you. The law is clear. The car belongs to your child, not you. My parents looked stunned. My sister rolled her eyes. The judge ruled in my favor. He said my parents had to pay me back for any damages to the car, and they had to stay away from me for 6 months. My sister was banned from driving my car ever again. I felt a wave of relief wash over me, but the story was not over yet. A few days later, I found out my parents had been telling everyone in our family that I was a terrible person. They said I was ungrateful. They said I was selfish. They said I ruined their lives. I started getting angry messages from relatives I barely even knew. I decided I was done playing nice. I posted my side of the story online. I shared the texts, the photos, the police report. I told everyone exactly what happened. The response was overwhelming. People could not believe what my parents did. Strangers messaged me to say they were proud of me for standing up for myself. My parents tried to do damage control, but it was too late. The truth was out, and everyone knew what they had done. My sister lost a lot of friends. When they found out she was a thief, my parents lost the respect of everyone in our family. I moved out and started a new life. I got a better job. I made new friends. I bought a new car with my own money. I never looked back. The moral of the story is this: sometimes the people who are supposed to love you the most are the ones who hurt you the worst, but you do not have to let them win. You can stand up for yourself. You can fight back. And when you do, you will find out just how strong you really are.